Hey guys, this is Chetan for Gizmo Times and you're watching the comparison of the OPPO A9 2020 with the Samsung Galaxy A50s. If you have checked our earlier videos, I have always focused on the experience of the smartphone, not one of the major features. So whenever a phone is launched, one of the brands usually what they do is they focus on one of the features that is heavily advertised as the best. But do you actually buy a phone for that only feature or a couple of more features? It's about the entire experience of the device. It's about the battery, it's about the display, about the performance, the camera, everything together. There might be surely a couple of compromises, but that usually is okay if you're getting the final experience better than the other phones in its price range. So in this video we are trying to show you how for me the OPPO A9 2020 was a winner when we compared that with the Samsung Galaxy A50s. And mind you, the price of the OPPO A9 2020 is actually lesser than the Samsung Galaxy A50s, and still we are comparing this only because it is able to beat the phone that is priced higher. And for the price itself, it's priced at 16,000 rupees for the 4GB RAM variant with 128GB storage, which is the base storage, which is the max storage. So you're getting another one at 20,000 rupees, and that is with 8GB of RAM and 128GB storage. And even for that price, you aren't getting a 6GB RAM variant on the Galaxy A50s. So the base price of this one is 21,000 rupees, and you're getting 4GB RAM, 128GB there. And along with that, you have another one at 23,000 rupees where you get about 6GB of RAM and 128GB storage. Let's start with what is important here. That's the design, the display, and those kind of things. On the design, the Prism Crush design on the Galaxy A50s might seem like a unique and different kind of that diamond cut finish. But remember, Oppo was the one that brought this kind of finish, and that was quite a few generations back. Till the point the company thought, let's refresh and get into something new. So the Prism Crush or whatever the diamond cut design is now gone, and you are actually seeing something new, the 3D aesthetic designs on the Oppo A9 series or the Oppo A series. So we actually are moving on from this to something new, and Samsung has now got into this kind of finish, and I'd say it's not bad, but still it's not new, and that's where something refreshing with that gradient kind of designs on the Oppo series. Oppo has been known for better designs, so you know that you might get a better finish, a better looking device when you buy an Oppo phone. And Oppo has something called as the sunlight display, where they do the dynamic pixel adjustment, and that helps in a better viewing under sunlight. Next, with the performance, that's where again Samsung has its homegrown 9611 from Exynos, while on the other side the Oppo A9 2020 comes with the much balanced Qualcomm Snapdragon 665. So the 665, you know already, it's on a range of phones ranging from the budget phones to high mid-range phones. So that's a reason why this chipset is adopted. It has everything well balanced, and it does well with the day-to-day functions. And at the other side, the Galaxy's Exynos 9611, it might surely seem like something that is heavily overpowered chipset 9611, but you have seen our Galaxy M30's review. The Exynos chipsets are known to offer better gaming options on games like PUBG Mobile. But in the end, the fact is that they aren't able to handle those kind of games. They aren't able to handle those heavy graphics, and that's where the entire overpowering is unnecessary. Because with the day-to-day usage, if that is enough, you can also play games well on the A9 2020. You surely can't get those options that you get on the games on these kind of chipsets. Also, add to the fact about the UI. So Samsung, if you had a Samsung phone, you surely know, and we have always been seeing people getting annoyed from the UI on Samsung. It's not about TouchWiz or the One UI. Even with One UI, we have seen people after a few months complaining about the lags they see, about the issues they have with the UI. It's always laggy on the Samsung phones. That's something that Samsung has never been able to do better with. No matter what kind of chipset you have on your phone, Samsung's UI has always been laggy after a certain amount of time, not in the initial days. In the initial days, it's actually really fluid. And on the other side, the color OS has always been well optimized. Even after a long term of usage, we have seen users with the budget phones from Oppo, they also have never complained about the UI lags, and they have never complained about the issues that they have on the UI. So that's where I feel that even though you have a well balanced UI on the One UI that is new from Samsung, it still lags in the end. So here again, it's not about the chipset, it's about the UI optimization as well. And that takes us to the UI along with the battery. So the battery life is much better on the Oppo A9 2020. So the Oppo A9 2020 comes with a 5000 mAh battery, and a 5000 mAh battery surely is easily better on the specs when we compare that with the 4000 mAh battery on the Galaxy A50s. But that's not it. It's not only about the battery capacity, the battery life actually is much better because the color OS is well optimized for the same. And along with that, you have the reverse charging technology. Reverse charging is, 5000 mAh is surely not going to drain in a single day. But if you have a secondary phone that needs to be charged, you can do that charging with your primary phone. With the A9 2020, you can reverse charge the other phones using a USB OTG cable. So that's one major feature. That is something that usually brands miss out on, and they don't even mention it because it's not there. Here, the Oppo A9 2020 actually has that feature, which is quite a good one. Now, coming down to the camera aspect, the Galaxy A50 has also the Oppo A9 2020. They carry a 48 megapixel sensor, but even though with the regular captures in daylight conditions, we have seen both the phones to do really well, and they both have a similar kind of performance in the bright light conditions. But in low light, what happens is the smaller aperture on the Galaxy A50s with the f2.0 aperture lens, it's actually not able to take a lot of light in, and that's where it does not do well when compared to the Oppo A9 2020 that carries an f1.8 aperture lens. So the better aperture actually is always better when you try to take photos in the low light conditions. Even with the videos, here the primary camera is not enough. It's about how well the stabilization is. So while the color output or the content that is captured is good on both of them, when you're trying to take some non-stable shots, like when you're walking around and try to take a video, that's where you need some stabilization here. Both of them don't have OIS, but at least the Oppo A9 2020 has the EIS that is supported with the gyroscope in the body. So the gyroscope helps the EIS, that's the electronic image stabilization, and both of them work together in providing a very good balanced stabilized video, and that is on the full HD resolution. So that's not offered on the Galaxy A50s. And also the other thing about the night shots, where I mentioned about the aperture size, it's also about the software that is optimized well on the Oppo A9 2020 with the Ultra Night Mode 2.0. So the Ultra Dark Mode actually here is doing a good job of not just taking in what is given by the sensor and the lens, but also optimizing it well to reduce the noise and increase the details whenever you try to take photos, not just in low light conditions but in actually pitch dark conditions where there's only a single little source of light and you still try to take the photo. That's where the A9 2020 does a much better job when compared to the Galaxy A50s. So one more thing about the Oppo A9 2020 that I actually like, because I actually listen to a lot of music, is about the speakers here. In this price range, we haven't seen many phones offering the dual stereo speakers. The A9 2020 actually has a dual stereo speaker here with the bottom and the top speaker. And along with that, if you're an audiophile who takes a lot of music on the headphones and not through the speakers, there's also the Dolby Atmos support given on the A9 2020. On the other side, the A50s, I don't know, it's surprising that the A series, even the earlier phones, don't have a heavy output on the audio, and also there's no good audio quality there. So it's a single speaker, but along with that, the audio output is also quite low. So compared to that, the dual stereo speaker anyway is giving a good audio. Along with that, the audio is optimized well on the A9 2020. So if you're actually going to do hands-on listening of these two, you'd understand how better the speakers on the A9 2020 are. While you might have noticed that we also talked about a couple of things that are better on the A50s, like the Full HD resolution display, the AMOLED display, also the better resolution selfie camera on the Galaxy A50s. But that's what I talked about. The pain points such as the battery life, such as the camera in low light conditions, these kind of things are usually missed out. They are actually very much ignored by the brands. They don't mention about it because they don't offer anything to clear out those pain points, and that's where I felt that the Oppo A9 2020 is a better choice when compared to the Galaxy A50s, only because of the fact that there are things that are well offered here, taking people's opinions or people's choices into consideration. So that's where the Oppo A9 2020 is an overall better phone, and you're actually going to save money if you're buying the Oppo A9 2020, because for 20,000 you're getting 8GB RAM, 128GB storage. Here on the other side you're getting 4GB RAM, 128GB for 21,000 rupees, and you're also missing out on some of the major features here. So that's it in this comparison. Let us know about your thoughts. Let us know which phone would you buy of these two phones if given a choice in the comment section below. And that's it. I hope you like this video. If you do share and subscribe to Gizmo for more. Thanks for watching, and see you next video.